My name is Lily, and I want to tell you my story. It is a story of struggles, dreams, and a new hope. When I was a little girl, I didn't talk much. I stayed mostly quiet. My parents were very strict, and they didn't like me having friends or playing outside. They told me, stay inside, study hard, and don't waste time on things like hobbies. I spent most of my time at home, doing what they told me. I wanted to play with other kids and make friends, but my parents said no. I didn't go to kindergarten like other children. When I started school, I felt nervous. How will I talk to the other kids? I asked myself. But after a while, I made a few friends. I still stayed quiet, telling myself, just be quiet, stay safe. I loved drawing and wanted to join art classes. But my parents didn't think art was important. They said, focus on your studies. I wanted to do something I enjoyed, but I couldn't. When I turned 18, I met a boy named James. He was tall and had a bright smile. He made me laugh, and I felt happy around him. James said, "You're so beautiful, Lily." I felt special. We spent a lot of time together, talking about everything. He told me, "You're my best friend." James didn't like the idea of me finishing college. He said, "Why do you need a degree? You can marry me." I was young, just 18, and I thought he was right. I was in love, and I thought he would take care of me. He asked me to marry him, and I said yes. I stopped going to school, thinking love was all that mattered. At first, everything seemed perfect. We were happy. We had a daughter named Emily. She was small, sweet, and always smiling. But soon, things began to change. James told me, "Don't wear those clothes, Lily. Change your style." He didn't like my tattoos or my short hair. He said, "Stay home with Emily. You don't need friends." James started coming home late, saying he was with his friends. I felt lonely and missed talking to him. One day, he yelled at me. He said, "You're not a good wife." I was hurt and cried. But I stayed because I loved him. Things got worse. One night, James hit me. I couldn't believe it. I cried all night, feeling lost. I wanted to leave, but I was scared. I went to my parents for help, but they said, "You're married now. Stay with your husband." I felt trapped. I went back to James, telling myself, things will get better. A few months later, I was pregnant again. This time, I had a son named Daniel. He looked just like me, and I loved him so much. But when I came home from the hospital, James didn't come to see me. He said, "Why are you back so soon?" I was hurt. Then I found out that James had a girlfriend. He told me, "She loves me more than you." I felt small, unimportant, and broken. I wanted to leave him, but I had no money, and I had 2 children to care for. James joined the army and left me alone with the kids. He said, "You can manage." I was heartbroken and cried every day. My father passed away, and my mother moved to another country. I was completely alone. Then, James called me from the army. He told me, "I found someone new. I didn't believe it. I asked, "Why?" He replied, "I'm happier with her." 3 months later, he called again and said, "I made a mistake. Please come back." I still loved him, so I agreed. We tried to fix our marriage. But James didn't change. He still hurt me with his words. Now, we've been married for 16 years. James tries to be better, but he still hurts me with what he says. I'm 33 now, and I'm not the same person I used to be. I'm stronger, but I feel tired. Some days, I feel like I don't exist. But I have my children, Emily and Daniel. They are my reason to keep going. Emily is 8 now. She loves drawing and singing. Daniel is 4. He likes playing with cars and laughing loudly. They make me feel alive. One day, my neighbor Sarah knocked on my door. She smiled and said, "Hi, Lily. Do you want to come over for tea?" I wanted to say no, but I went. I needed someone to talk to. Sarah said, "You are not alone. I'm here for you." Her words made me cry. And I felt better. Sarah gave me an idea. She said, "Why don't you start working from home?" I thought about it, and then I started baking cakes and selling them. At first, it was hard. I didn't know if I could do it. But my cakes were good. And people started ordering more. For the first time in years, I felt proud of myself. I thought, I can do this. One day, James came home and saw me baking. He yelled, "Why are you baking? You don't need to work." I looked at him and said, "I need to do this for myself and for the kids. I will not stop." He was shocked, but I felt strong. I knew I had to protect myself and my children. Life didn't change right away. James still gets angry sometimes. But I started setting boundaries. I told him, "If you hurt me again, I will leave." He didn't believe me at first. But I stayed strong. I knew I had to protect my children and myself. I also met new people. Sarah introduced me to her friends, who were kind and supportive. I started doing small things I used to love, like cutting my hair short again and wearing colorful clothes. For the first time in a long time, I felt like myself again. Emily said, "Mom, you look so happy." Her words made me smile. Now, I think about what I want in life. I want a safe, happy life for my children. I want to feel free. I don't know if James will ever change. But I know I have changed. I am no longer the scared girl I used to be. I tell myself, one day, I will find peace. I don't know when, but I believe it will happen. Looking back at my story, I feel a mixture of pain and joy. There were days when I didn't know how much longer I could go on. But gradually, I came to realize that everything happens for a reason. Each step, each decision, whether wrong or right, is part of the long journey I am on. I am not the woman I once was. And I am proud of that change. I've learned to love myself. Even though old wounds sometimes still ache. I understand now that finding happiness isn't an easy path. And there won't always be immediate answers. But I believe that, no matter how difficult life may be, if we have enough strength and faith in ourselves, tomorrow will always bring a new opportunity. So here I stand, looking ahead, and asking myself, will I ever find complete peace? Will I ever truly feel free? I don't know the answer yet, but I believe that one day, I will. And until then, I will keep walking forward, taking each day as it comes, knowing that there is still more to be discovered on this journey.